What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Logisticalstyles coming at you with yet another video and another product review. That's right, welcome back YouTube. Like I said, I have another product review that I'm doing. I know we got a couple of them coming rapid fire back to back, but hey, when there's a chance to do a product review, I'm always going to jump on it. And this time I got an opportunity to do a review on this product. This is not a new product by any means, but it's new to me, and it's something that I've really needed for a very long time. I just didn't know it. And this is the XVIVE U3 microphone wireless system. It's a dynamic microphone wireless system, and it is that and a lot more. It's a lot more. It can take a regular simple dynamic microphone, and it can turn it into a wireless microphone with a transmitter that can transmit up to 90 feet, and as I'm going to show you in the field test, it can actually go a little further than 90 feet. So let's open it up. It packaged really nicely. It comes in this little sleek packaging, little box right there, XVIVE. And this is what you get. You get a receiver and a transmitter. This is the transmitter. This is the piece that's going to go onto your microphone, and this is the piece that's going to go into your mixer board or your speaker or whatever you want to send your signal to. It's packaged really nicely. Like I said, you get this foam insert. Beneath it, you get a USB charging cable that has two heads that allow you to charge both units at the same time with one plug, which is a really nice feature. Instead of just giving you multiple cables, they give you one cable that's the right cable for the job. And you get a little carrying case, a little pouch. So we'll put that in there along with, let's see, you got instruction manual, and maybe it looks like a product guide. There's some other products they're showing you, I guess, maybe how to hook it up with other devices. Very interesting. Another manual, warranty sticker, and more warranty stuff. So, I mean, that's generally what you get with most electronics these days anyway. So I'll put all this back, and we'll get into the product itself. The product feels really nice. It's got a little weight to it because there's batteries inside. This stuff is all battery powered, so there's rechargeable batteries in here. I'm not sure if you can replace them. I really doubt it. Most electronics of this caliber, you don't really have the option to replace unless you take it apart. Now I don't see any screws, so this is not meant to be taken apart. So the battery life on this, I believe, if I read the box correctly, it says you can get up to 5 hours of battery life. You can use up to 6 of these units together at one time without having to worry about interference, because there's 6 different channels that you can switch this to. So if you're having poor reception on one channel, you can hit this button to switch to another channel, and hit this button to switch the receiver to another channel. So once you have them matched up to the same channel, you should be able to transmit and receive without any issue. On the transmitter, there are 2 switches. There is a mic and a line switch. So if you are hooking this up to something other than a microphone, maybe you want to hook it up to your controller or your mixer, or you might have another wireless microphone. Says I'm not sure why you would do this, but that would be kind of redundant. But anything that has an XLR output, you can hook this up to and transmit a wireless signal to this receiver. And this receiver has just one switch on it, and that is the power switch, on or off, and then the button to choose your channel, and a charging port. There are lights to indicate your charging status, and no lights on this other than the lights around the channel selector. They do come up, they turn blue. You can see what channel you've actually selected. The second button on this is also a power button. Power on and then mute, which is just off. So it works really well in my testing. I've done some testing with it all day since I've received it, and I've been in the yard doing distance tests with it and checking out the sound quality. So what I'm gonna do is basically just jump and cut to the field testing that I did, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay, YouTube, so I'm out here in the yard and I have the XVIVE U3 transmitter hooked up to this Shure PGM 48 handheld mic, and the receiver for the XVIVE is connected to the camera that I'm recording onto right now using an XLR to 3.5 millimeter adapter. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and grab my little measuring stick, and we're going to walk and see just how far we can get before it breaks up or we lose transmission. The specified transmission according to the literature that came with it is 90 feet, but let's see if we can push the limit a little bit. Okay, so this is my little measuring stick right here. I'm going to reset the counter to 0. And we're just gonna go walk with the stick as it rolls out and counts the feet as I walk further and further away. Right now I am at 40 feet. This is 40 feet from the camera, and I can see that we're still getting a decent transmission. Now let's see if we continue to walk. You can hear the leaves crunching under my feet. That's not static or anything, that's just the leaves. Now we are at 80 feet, and it looks like we're still transmitting pretty strongly. 80 feet with a direct line of sight. Let's just go ahead and get to 90. This is the promised 90 feet of transmission, and it looks like we're still transmitting pretty strongly. Like I said, 90 feet away. This is a Shure PGM 48 handheld mic, and we're using the XVIVE U3 receiver and transmitter, and so far everything seems to be sounding good. Gonna keep walking a little further. We just passed 100 feet, and let's see if we can get to 120 feet right here. This is 120 feet away, and we're still getting some kind of transmission. I'm not sure how solid it is, but we'll find out once we do a listen on the playback. Let's see if we can get to 150. 135, 145, and we are at 150 feet. Now, unfortunately, I can't see the camera from here, so I don't know if it's transmitting or what, but I would suspect at this distance there would be some static, some dropouts. Even though we are directly looking at the receiver and the camera, there's maybe a small amount of leaves and branches in the way, but this is just pushing the limit. So let's walk back and take a listen to see how everything sounds. Gonna pick this up and come back to the camera. Hopefully the transmission was pretty strong all the way throughout. It looked like at the 90-foot mark we were definitely getting a strong signal. And I honestly don't expect to ever need to use a wireless microphone that far away. I do a lot of mid to small sized events, so there's no need for me to be half the distance of a football field. So let's hook up the headphones or hook this up back in the studio and see how well this did out in this field test. All right, so before I take everything inside, I want to do one more quick test and see how well we could integrate the XVIVE U3 with another scenario, not necessarily using it to make a microphone wireless, but instead making the whole DJ console wireless. In my previous videos, I've shown you how I use the Pioneer Rev 1 along with an iPad running DJ algorithm to have a wireless
controller setup, and then I would run a cable over to my Mackie Thumb Go, which is battery powered, but there's still a cable. So what I'm going to do is use the XVIVE to be a receiver and transmitter for my controller. So I'm going to hook this up to my controller using an XLR to RCA cable, and then I'm going to put the receiver into the line input on the microphone, on the speaker. So I'll go ahead and get a mix playing over here, bring some music up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to try to see exactly how far of a range I can get with a speaker away from my controller. So I have the wireless transmitter hooked up to my controller. And I can just take the Mackie Thumb Go, and we're going to walk down the yard and see how far we can go. Just going to keep walking with the Mackie Thumb Go. I know it's really noisy out here. This is like the evening time of the day. So a lot of people in my neighborhood are coming home. A lot of cars driving by. For some reason, my neighbor decided to pull out the leaf blower as I'm recording, but hopefully you can hear that the music is still coming through on the speaker. We've got a direct line of sight. The camera is still where it was when I did the test with the microphone, so the results should be very similar. Now here we are, and this is like about 125 feet, and now we're starting to get some kind of dropouts, some static, but it's still playing. But I can hear that it's kind of struggling to stay connected this far away. And as I mentioned before with the microphone test, I don't have any intentions of being this far away from my receiver or transmitter when I use this device. So this definitely has passed the test. As you can hear, it's breaking up a little bit, but we are definitely past the 90 feet. This is more like 90 feet right here. And the system is really, the signal is really strong. So hopefully, let me turn this down. I'm really hoping that that music that I was playing did not cause a copyright strike. Hopefully it was just too faintly in the background. But as you can see, you can have multiple uses for this XVIVE receiver and transmitter. You can make your microphone wireless. You can make your DJ console wireless. You can just really just eliminate the need for wires in general. So let's go back into the studio and let's have a recap of how well I think this went.
So I hope that was a good field test, so you can see exactly how I would be using it and the results I get. As you can see, it did very well according to the promises made on the box. So I haven't tested the battery life. I'm going to do that a little later, probably overnight. But the 5-hour battery life, this is a 2.4 gigahertz frequency that it operates on, which is pretty much, you know, what a lot of our wireless devices operate on, that frequency, but there's plenty of room in that range. So I haven't had any issue with it. When I did all the testing in the yard, it was, as you can see, it was just me in a open field, but there's always variables such as more bodies in between you and the receiver, or more bodies with their own wireless devices that could cause interference. So I have to really put this to a test in the real world, so to say, using it under real life. So I'm gonna have to put this under the test to see how it really works, but I'll need to do it in real life situations when there will be more people in the event, or more sources of possible interference with wireless devices or what have you. But using it out in the just open field, I got really good signal strength from it. I was able to get up to about 130 to 135 feet before we got any noticeable drops. And even then, it was not a whole lot, but it was there, you could tell. But if you follow the instructions and you just use the recommended range of 90 feet, you should have no problem. 90 feet was more than enough for me to be able to set up for a ceremony or cocktail hour or some performance on the stage or whatever. I think these would come in really handy. So I'm gonna definitely recommend these and probably get another pair so I can hook up my left and right channel on my controller, as I showed you in the test out in the field. I only had this one hooked up to the right output, but I mean the left output, but I need to get a second one. So for the price that I paid for this, it was $200. I think it's definitely worth it. There's other situations where you would need these as well, where not necessarily I'm using my portable battery powered system, but maybe I'm in a big room for my main weddings reception, and then the cocktail hour is in a room down the hall. Maybe not even down the hall, but next door. I can use these to transmit, because I was in this situation a couple of times this summer doing weddings where I needed to have sound coming in for a cocktail hour or some other reason, and I rather would have preferred to just play my music from my main system and just have a wireless satellite speaker, and that's what this is allowing me to do. So all in all, I'm gonna definitely give it a thumbs up and recommend it, and I'll put a link in the description below so where you can see where you can purchase it yourself. And if you use these already, or you use another brand or something similar, let me know in the comments, and we can kind of compare notes to see what we like about them and what we don't like about them. But so far I found nothing to not like about them. I really do enjoy these, and you will be seeing me using these in my gig log review videos. So until next time, it's your boy Logistical Styles. I'm signing out, and we'll see you around.